In 2026, Ducati is dropping 10 entirely new superbikes into the Indian market at the exact same time. The brand once reserved for ultra-wealthy collectors is now positioning itself to capture a new wave of aspirational riders. For decades, the Indian market was dictated by fuel efficiency and daily commuting practicality. Today, younger buyers with rising disposable incomes are optimizing for entirely different metrics: top-end speed, long-distance adventure touring, and social status. Watch a few motovlogging channels on YouTube, and you'll see thousands of commenters dreaming of their first leader bike. This social media culture has turned these machines into a form of public identity, making the choice of a motorcycle a lifestyle statement. You can see why Ducati is moving so aggressively by looking at this chart. It plots premium superbike sales in India over the last 10 years. Notice the steady climb starting around 2015, accelerating into a highly performance-focused buying trend projected out to 2026. But this sudden availability creates a difficult choice. Financing makes a Ducati possible, but you have to decide if that Italian prestige actually outperforms the battle-tested, reliable machines already dominating the roads from Kawasaki and BMW. This 10-bike rollout is a direct attack on the status quo. It forces every Indian superbike buyer into a standoff between European exoticism and proven reliability. To understand Ducati's specific appeal, you have to look at how they engineer their bikes. Their entire manufacturing philosophy is built around aggressive aerodynamic design and cutting-edge MotoGP racing technology. This racing heritage leads to bikes that prioritize power-to-weight ratios over the fuel efficiency needed for a city commute. For most Indian enthusiasts, that uncompromising performance is what makes the brand feel like a dream machine. Contrast that against the brands that currently run the Indian premium market. Kawasaki and BMW have spent years building deep trust. They deliver high performance, but they balance it with cost-effective parts and predictable reliability. Choosing the emotional path comes with strict conditions. To park a Ducati in your garage, you have to confront the severe reality of their total cost of ownership. Before you sign the paperwork for an Italian exotic over a Japanese staple, you have to weigh how easily you can get the loan against how easily you can afford the uncompromising premium maintenance that follows. Let's start at the very top of the 2026 lineup, where Ducati is deploying its absolute track weapons, the Panigale V4 and its naked sibling, the Streetfighter V4. The Panigale V4 holds an immense performance edge. This machine pulls over 210 horsepower and utilizes aerodynamic winglets directly ported from their premier racing divisions to keep the front wheel on the ground. If you prefer a more upright posture, the Streetfighter V4 essentially strips away the fairings from that exact same race engine, putting all that brutal power into an aggressive, street-oriented frame. But here is the immediate competition. The Kawasaki ZX-10R is a proven track favorite in India. It delivers championship-winning speed at a fraction of the price of the Italian V4s. You also have to consider the environment. While the Ducati gives you unmatched prestige, the extreme engine heat generated by those V4s, combined with a punishing riding position, makes them notoriously miserable in heavy Indian city traffic. The Kawasaki is far more forgiving. Buying into the top-tier Ducati track lineup means actively choosing to sacrifice daily utility for absolute, uncompromising superiority on the weekend. Moving over to the adventure touring segment, Ducati is pushing the Multistrada series to capture the long-distance travel market. The Multistrada is engineered for road-biased comfort. It features sophisticated electronics and active suspension that devours smooth highway miles on long interstate rides. However, epic Indian touring routes, like the ride up to Ladakh, rarely offer smooth highways. You are dealing with remote environments, water crossings, and severely broken infrastructure. That harsh environment is why the BMW GS remains the gold standard. It is built on a philosophy of rugged, utilitarian simplicity that handles off-road abuse incredibly well. If a complex Italian electronic sensor fails in an off-grid Himalayan village, your trip is likely over. If you drop a rugged German or British adventure bike, you can usually patch it up with basic tools and keep riding. Adventure buyers have to choose their priority: the high-speed tarmac sophistication of the Multistrada or the absolute remote serviceable durability of the GS. To capture younger, first-time premium buyers, Ducati is banking heavily on their entry-level models, the Monster and the Scrambler. These bikes offer lightweight city maneuverability, retro aesthetics, and immediate social media clout that comes from having the Ducati badge on your keys. But strictly by the numbers, Japanese and British competitors often deliver significantly better horsepower and features for the exact same entry price. What makes these entry-level Ducatis so dangerous to your wallet are the aggressive EMI financing schemes. Dealerships can stretch out the loan, bringing the upfront monthly payment down to a highly tempting number. This chart breaks down the real financial trap. The blue bar represents that manageable monthly loan payment. But look at these red spikes. Those are the massive spikes in recurring costs you will face: mandatory premium insurance, high-octane fuel, and expensive imported spare parts. And then there is the Desmo service. Because of Ducati's unique valve system, they require a labor-intensive engine clearance check at specific mileage intervals. It is an inevitable maintenance bill that routinely shocks budget buyers. Financing clears the showroom floor, yet the real barrier to long-term ownership is the unrelenting maintenance bill. Ducati's aggressive expansion is a win for Indian consumers. When a premium brand fights for territory, it forces every other manufacturer to innovate on technology, pricing, and features, giving riders more options than ever before. To see where you fit, let's map this out. This chart plots overall cost against pure performance. The Scrambler is a strong entry point, but budget for upkeep. For cost-effective track days, choose the ZX-10R. Only buy the Panigale V4 for pure emotional prestige. Honestly, identifying your riding persona and your real-world budget is the only way to avoid an expensive, frustrating mismatch. For adventure tourers, the Multistrada dominates paved highways, but for remote, off-grid expeditions, the BMW GS remains the superior tool. Ducati's 2026 master plan is calculated. By expanding their lineup so drastically, they are successfully lowering the barrier to entry and bringing the Italian brand directly to the Indian middle class. Just remember the golden rule of importing European superbikes. Respect the engineering capabilities on the road and deeply respect the maintenance schedule in the garage. So the final choice is yours. Do you embrace the high-maintenance emotion of an Italian exotic, or do you stick with the proven, steadfast reliability of the established guard? Either way, with this monumental launch, India has officially evolved into one of the world's most vital, fiercely contested superbike battlefields.